Dum 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 dum. Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round two of the League Challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on October 12th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. A bunch of announcements here. Gym Leader Challenge, Thursday, October 19th at 6 p.m. Paradox Rift pre-releases start Saturday, October 21st at 1 p.m. and League Cup Saturday, November 4th, 11 a.m. All Central Time, all at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for more premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please hit that like button right quick. Subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into this round two. On the left, Lost Charizard. On the right, Miraidon, Regieleki. Miraidon being found with that nest ball there. Nest ball lets you search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto the bench. Miraidon has that tandem unit ability, which lets you search your deck for two basic electric Pokemon and put them on the bench. Mareep being one target. Second Miraidon EX being found there. Second tandem unit being activated to search the deck for most likely a Regieleki V. Maybe double Regieleki V? No, we need that Raikou. Never mind. Raikou V and Regieleki V. Or are we going to go the double Raikou? Actually, considering that Raichu V there could be useful to take a big one shot and on a giant opposing Charizard EX. So there we go. The electric gang is all here. I see an electric generator in hand. That's pretty good. Interesting to still see the Radiant Greninja in the deck for extra dig, but hitting that electric generator, looking at the top 5 cards, and you can attach to your bench electric Pokemon to electric energy, lightning energy you find there in any way you like. Double hit on that electric generator and both energy going on to that bench Raikou V. I would maybe like to have seen it spread out a bit since this is the first turn, but definitely nothing wrong here. And passing things over to our Lost Zard player here, who starts things off with a Nest Ball and Artisan. Most likely going to resolve both those cards at the same time. Nest Ball, remember, lets you search your deck for a basic Pokemon to add to the bench, and Artisan lets you search your deck for a basic non-rule box Pokemon and add it to the bench. So potentially we'll see a Comfey and Charmander found off of these 2 cards here. No, actually, one target, the Nest Ball is going to target the Radiant Greninja. Okay. So Nest Ball, find Radiant Greninja, use its ability to draw a couple cards and see what you get, then resolve the Artisan. Very good sequencing here. Radiant Greninja hitting the bench and concealed cards being activated. Discard an energy card and draw 2 cards. Looks like a Comfey was found. So that's good. Now the Artisan can find a Charizard if needed, but not before a Course Experiment being played. Supporter card, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Send 2 of them to the Lost Zone and put the other 3 into your hand. We've got to figure out what are the most important 3. What are they? It depends. Depends on what's in the hand, what's prized, all that other good stuff. These Lost Zone decks can definitely have some difficult decisions. Let's see what our player decides to do here. Looks like 2 cards are deemed as necessary, and a Comfey, I think, and a Psychic Energy hitting the Lost Zone there. Never to be seen again, in this game at least. Active Comfey uses its flower selecting ability to look at the top 2 cards, send one of them to the Lost Zone, The Super Rod, it looks like, goes to the Lost Zone, and keep that other card. Escape Rope being played here. Your opponent promotes a new active Pokemon from the bench first, and then you do the same. Raikou V hitting the active spot, Comfey hitting the active spot. It hits its Flower Selecting ability. Looking at the top two, sending an Escape Rope to the Lost Zone and keeping that other card there. Charmander, full art, beautiful gallery art, mega art, whatever they're called now, hitting the bench there. Artisan being resolved now to search the deck for a Cramorant. That hits the bench, and Cramorant can attack for free. Its Lost Provisions ability is online now. Lost Provisions, as long as there's 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, Cramorant's attack costs nothing, so it can do 110 Spit Innocently for free. Energy attached to the active Comfey, manually retreating into that Cramorant. Cramorant spits Innocently for 110 damage onto this opposing Raikou V. Play will resume on the Lightning side here. Flaffy being evolved onto the bench with its powerful Dynamotor ability, allowing lightning energy to be accelerated from the discard pile onto the bench. See, I see a research in hand. Bench is full, so no more basic Pokemon can be played here. We have a fleet-footed with the active Raikou, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it all go with the research. See 7 fresh new cards. Bravery Charm going on to the active Raikou V, giving it plus 50 HP. Forest Seal Stone being attached to the bench Raichu V. Beach Court countering that Artisan Stadium there, giving both players active Pokemon 1 colorless less to their retreat cost. Lightning Energy being attached to the bench Miraidon EX, and let's hit this electric generator again. Fail. 0 lightning energy found on that electric generator. It happens more often than you think it would. Fleet-footed being used by the active Raikou V to draw a card. When it's in the active spot, it could just draw a card with Fleet-footed, and it'll take the KO on the opposing Cramorant with Lightning Rondo. Lightning Rondo does 20 plus 20 for each Pokemon, bench Pokemon you and your opponent have. But we see the rare candy Charizard coming down here. Rare candy lets you skip that middle evolution and go straight to this stage 2. Charizard EX's Infernal Rain ability, when you evolve it, you can accelerate 3 fire energy from the deck to your Pokemon in any way you like. So 2 fire energy going onto the active Charizard there. 1 onto the Radiant Greninja, threatening a potential Moonlight Shuriken if any water energy is played. Concealed cards, discarding that energy and drawing 2 cards thanks to Radiant Greninja. A Charmander being put onto the bench, backup Charmander. And Boss's order is being played to bring a Raichu V into the active spot. Charizard's Burning Darkness is currently doing 210 damage since the opponent took a prize card. This attack does 180 base, 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. Player resume on the lightning side with that Raikou V being put back into the active spot. Very smart there to take out the Raichu V, as that's this lightning deck's way of one-shotting the massive Charizard EX. Lightning energy being attached to the bench Miraidon, and Ultra Ball being played, discarding a couple cards to search the deck for a Pokemon. Basic, Stage 5, Mega, it doesn't matter. Any Pokemon card. Eyeballing that Regieleki V there. Regieleki V evolves into Regieleki VMAX, and the VMAX has that transistor ability, which gives plus 30 damage to your basic lightning Pokemon's attack. We'll see if that comes into play here in this game. Energy being accelerated onto that Miraidon EX thanks to Dynamotor there. Energy from the discard pile. Fleet-footed being used by that active Raikou V. It retreats for free thanks to the Beach Court into that powered up Miraidon EX, and Miraidon attacks for 220 damage. Photon Blaster onto that Charizard EX. And play resumes on Charizard's side. Start things off with a Course Experiment. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Lost zone 2 of them and keep 3 of them. Basically a draw 5 if you get rid of the right cards. Lost zone the right cards. Switch and another card. Maybe Professor's Research being sent to the Lost Zone. Can't quite tell what it is there. Thanks to that lovely glare. Radiant Greninja's concealed cards ability being used to discard an energy and draw 2 more cards. Looks like Water Energy is played. Basic switch being used to switch that Charizard into that Comfey there. Comfey uses Flower Selecting. Going a little deeper into the deck, easily getting rid of that Battle VIP pass, sending it to the Lost Zone. Keeping that Roxanne there for later. We really want to be attacking with a fresh Charizard here if we can, or Cramorant is good to attack with. Energy attached to the Comfey, manually retreating into the other Comfey. Another easy Flower Selecting there, sending a Battle VIP pass to the Lost Zone. You can only play that card on the first turn, so easy to get rid of later. Another Charmander being put onto the bench there. And a pass. So no attack. Would have at least liked to see an attack that turn, even if it was with the damaged Charizard, but just could not get there this turn. Some prize denial action going on, but I think they would have rather attacked. Regieleki VMAX evolving on the bench there. Its Transistor ability, your basic lightning Pokemon's attack do 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. Interesting that Transistor does not power up Regieleki VMAX itself, but it's balanced, right? Miraidon free retreating into that Radiant Greninja since it cannot use Photon Blaster again. And yeah, just passing things over to our Lost Charizard player here, who plays a Courses Experiment. Getting some more cards into the hand, giving themselves more options, more routes to victory, to potential victory. A couple cards being sent to the Lost Zone there, 3 more added to the hand thanks to the Course Experiment. And we have all those non-rule box, well, all those single prize Pokemon abilities ready to be used here, starting things off with the Radiant Greninja, discarding a basic Water Energy and drawing 2 more cards from the deck. Flower Selecting being used to look the top 2, send 1 to the Lost Zone, keep the other. Battle VIP pass is supposed to go into the Lost Zone, but probably won't matter too much here. Escape Rope being played. The opponent promotes a Pokemon first, a new Pokemon first, but we already knew the Lost player was going to promote the Comfey, which uses Flower Selecting to send that Cramorant, it looks like, to the Lost Zone. Regieleki VMAX being promoted there. Big, tanky, high HP Pokemon with free retreat. Easy choice there, I think, off of that escape rope. And now our Charizard player would like to get an attack this turn. Ooh, Nest Ball could not be played there. Um, Nest Ball cannot be played if the bench is full, since the Nest Ball target goes straight to the bench. Not Probably not that big of a deal in this case. I'm sure it was an honest mistake and probably not that big of a deal with this board here. The opponent's also responsible for board state, so was their responsibility to catch that one as well. Switch card being played to bring that Charizard EX into the active spot. The Comfey is supposed to go onto the bench there, not into the discard pile with the switch card, but that's okay. Charizard doing 210 damage to that active Regieleki VMAX, and play resumes on the lightning side. We'll see if that Comfey going into the discard pile made a difference, but interesting play here with the Regieleki VMAX free retreating into that Raikou V. It uses its fleet-footed ability to draw another card. And let's see what our Lightning player has. Lightning Energy being manually attached to the bench, Miraidon EX. And Raikou V takes the KO on the opposing Charizard EX with Lightning Rondo. Charmander being promoted into the active spot. Play resumes on Lost Charizard's side. And the deck is 2 cards thick. Is that what I'm seeing there? Raihan being played. You accelerate as long as your opponent took a KO during the last turn. You accelerate a energy from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and then you could search your deck for a card. Rare Candy being the target there. Rare Candy letting that Charmander evolve directly into that Charizard EX. Only one card in deck, and it must not be a Fire Energy. Fire Energy being manually attached to the hand there. Charizard EX is taking the KO on this opposing Raikou V, even with the Bravery Charm on. Let's see if our player is going to attack. Yep. Taking a couple more prizes there. Radiant Greninja being promoted into the active spot. Very close game here at the end. There is really no way to one-shot the 330 HP Charizard here. Regieleki V being added to the bench, even with the single Regieleki VMAX ability. Even if we had 2 of them, we'd only be doing 280 damage with Miraidon EX's Photon Blaster. So is it more of a, let's see if you have the boss or not, and pass? Our player's going to go ahead and take a look through their opponent's discard pile, see how many bosses orders, how many other important cards are in there. Looks like the Comfey accidentally being added to the discard pile is not punishing, having no effect here. Dynamotor is going to accelerate a lightning energy from the discard pile to that Regieleki V. Energy being manually attached to the Regieleki V. Electric Generator being played. Looks like we got double lightning energy hit off of that electric generator. One going on to the Regieleki V, the other onto the other Miraidon EX. Very threatening board state here, but if the Charizard player has the boss's orders on their turn, they can KO either of the Miraidon or the Regieleki V on the bench there. Greninja for retreating into that Regieleki V. Regieleki V attacks. Ooh, am I really going to have to look up this attack here? Let's see. Regieleki V's attack for 3 energy. Lightning Wall does 100 damage and takes 100 less damage from attacks that next turn. Wow. Very cool stuff we're seeing here. Okay, so the Charizard is currently doing 270 damage, but it's gonna take, or it's only gonna be doing 170. Yeah, it's only gonna be doing 170 to the opposing Regieleki V, thanks to the Lightning Wall attack there. Not enough to take the KO. Is this what our Lightning player needed to squeak by? Our players are discussing it here. I think that's what we're seeing. 170 damage done to that opposing Regieleki V. No boss's orders being played by our Charizard player here. Regieleki V survives, and since there are no cards in deck for the Charizard player here, our Lightning player simply just has to pass the turn, because that's another win condition in the Pokemon trading card game, or another lose condition, let's say, is if you don't have any cards to draw at the beginning of your turn from your deck, the game is lost. You lose the game. Our players recognizing that and scooping their cards up. Wow. What an awesome game we got to see here. Our, what round is this here? Our round 2 of the League Challenge. What do you guys think of this video in the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.